What's going on, bro? Going live today, just for a little while. Nothing too crazy. Oh, okay. Congratulations. I've been losing a bunch of subscribers, so it's hard for me to celebrate. I've been losing a bunch, man. Justin Roman, I don't believe I know you, sir. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. You don't have to though. It's snowing outside today. It's snowing a lot too, so I'm chilling on the couch. Oh, it's all right, man. Hey, but like I said, bro, I've been losing a lot of subscribers, man. I've Since I started, I've already lost like 60 subscribers, bro. Like probably like 60. I don't know what's up. Every time I look at my count, it's lower and lower and lower. Maybe they want me to go live. I don't know, cause then I go live and I don't get any subscribers when I go live anymore. So maybe my channel's dying before it even had a chance to live. That's what I think's happening. Sometimes YouTube has a way of just making you die out even before you started. And I thought I had some pretty good content, but you got to let the people be the judge. But losing 60 subscribers, that's just crazy. Like, why did they even subscribe? 60 people? Makes you wonder why would someone subscribe just to turn around and unsubscribe? In between videos though. What's going on, Gracie? How you doing today? We're here talking about subscribers and how do you get and maintain subscribers? What am I doing wrong to where it is becoming the most difficult thing to keep my subscribers? I think they just be playing because they'll wait in between videos and unsubscribe. That's the weird part. Like, you ain't even seeing no garbage content. You just tweaking out. I don't know. It's all right though. I mean, it's been about 60 subscribers over the time since I received my first one. About 60 people. And in my opinion, that's a lot of people, man. Because if I would have had those people, I'd be close to 700 right now. I'd be at 700 subscriptions, but um, I'm not sweating it too much because I know how many times I've unsubscribed to people, but I don't just mess with their algorithm. Gracie says, I'm good. You're not doing anything wrong. I suggest you post about one specific content, recipes, politics, or whatever you want. Yeah, well, I've been dropping my videos, but when I go live, I don't like to keep it. See, my whole thing is I'm multifaceted, right? And what being multifaceted means is you don't just limit yourself to one thing every time you post, every time you talk, every time you go live, every time you make a video. It's only about one thing. And the reason why is because you will exhaust that one thing after a while. You'll have to regurgitate information, you'll have to repeat information. When I talk about a number of things, but I keep it all based around like the same mindset. So it's not really one topic, it's one mindset. But one mindset can be many topics, you know. But that shouldn't be the reason that I lose these subscribers at all. It should be, if you gain a subscriber, how do they just subscribe to your channel for 1 or 2 days and then they're gone and they take their subscription with them? It's weird to me. I think that a lot of these people just be playing. Yes, but gradually in the beginning, you have to create this base, this foundational audience. Yeah, no doubt about it. I thought I was doing pretty good. To be honest, I did. And no, YouTube is definitely not pushing my videos. When I check my YouTube studio, like after about a day, my views go to zero. Videos, shorts, everything drops to zero. Let me tell you, the views that I get are the initial views of when I release a video. However, it does in the algorithm, however many views it gets, that's the bulk of the views forever. Like I've only had like one video refilter and make some more views, but for the most part, it's just once I drop a video, that's it. So if it does 30 views, that's all it's gonna. It's and I if you look at the shorts, I have a lot of shorts to where um that's exactly what happens. You get 40 views, let's say, and then in the next 2 months, from 40 to 60 days later, you might gain an extra 15 views just off of like just random people coming in and looking at your stuff, but it doesn't really like do anything. It just, you know, YouTube is not pushing your videos to the algorithm, and you try so hard on the videos, but YouTube has other plans. Yeah, YouTube is only because they're trying to make money off of different creators, is what it boils down to. So Gracie says, and then you need to come live at times when most streamers stream, for example, 8 p.m., 1 a.m., 7 a.m. times when there's high probability of getting good audience. Yeah, well, right now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but you got to consider this: it's 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but on the West Coast it's noon, about to turn 1 o'clock, and then in Colorado it is 1 o'clock. But let me see. In California, it's noon. So I thought this was a good time, you know, um, especially because in the Midwest, all the high schoolers are out of school already. Not that I need the high schoolers, but that means their parents are at the house, and it's snowing right now here. So because it's snowing, everybody is in the house. I just figured, oh, I looked at my subscriber count and I lost 4 subscribers in well, because you got to understand, bro, like I said, YouTube needs to make money too, and they're making money off of their content creators, so that's who they push into their algorithm the most. That's why do you think every time I go live, a lot of people talk about Diddy this and Diddy that? That's an algorithm trick, because they're still getting paid off the P Diddy stuff. So you got all these people talking about P Diddy because he's a billionaire. They can get paid lots of money off someone like P. Diddy. So you wonder why a little small content creator like me goes live and everybody's talking about P. Diddy. Not because it's funny or disrespectful, but because that's where the money's at for YouTube. Maybe not for me, maybe not for you. Oh yeah, no doubt, Gracie. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't lost any of my OG viewers as far as I can tell. But I think what happened was is from the very beginning, people were just subscribing, not really knowing what my content was. And they probably never even checked. They probably just subscribed while they were scrolling and then kept it scrolling. And then maybe one day they seen me come across their feed again. So they started looking into what I had and decided they didn't like it, or whatever it is. But um, I'm gonna have to make a statement like, how do you say, like, if anybody that subscribes to me comes across my channel under a different name, even if only one letter in the name is different, did to please come tell me and let me know, because um I also think that my content is being stolen and being pushed somewhere else on another page, because that happened to me on Facebook. Somebody was stealing my content, and yeah, I think that's what it is, Gracie. But like I was saying, I also want to know if anybody is stealing my content and reposting it from another page. And these thieves are smart. They'll create everything to look the same, but it might just be one letter off, and you'll know if it's me or not because I talk to my audience. And but you won't know if it's like a video. How you gonna know if you can't talk to me? You know what I'm saying? That's why I did all these lives. I got 60 lives, bro. I got 60 of them. And I'm gonna have more because this is gonna be 61 right here today. Why? Who did that? I don't know, Gracie. They did it to me on Facebook. They stole a big chunk of my material. And so, because I had a Facebook page at one time, and I had, I had, I had, a couple hundred followers, not much, but I didn't like the way it was going, anyways. So I had been running that channel on Facebook for like 3 or 4 years. I had been maintaining it consistently, but it just wasn't doing anything. It wasn't like it just didn't like it. Nobody was commenting. It just, something was off about the page, and I never understood what it was until I started scrolling through my public page, and I started noticing that my posts looked different. There were issues with the spacing of the words, and then I got all the way to the bottom, to the very beginning, and it was just gone. Like, a lot of it was just gone. Yeah. Um Wait a minute. Your watch views is good. I saw this live you got. This one right here, there's no way I've only been streaming for 14 minutes. Oh no, yeah, no doubt, Gracie, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going by I'm not going by my subscriber count or my views. These are mainly for my watch hours, but like, what's crazy? My watch hours been going in reverse too lately. Like, the other day it said I had over 1,000 watch hours, and I just checked it again. Now, mind you, I haven't deleted, and I haven't deleted or made any of my public videos private, but for some reason I went from over 1,000 watch hours. It was almost at 1,100, right? It went from 1,100 all the way back to 975, and they just showed that today. It went from over 1,000 to 975 valid watch hours. So I'm like, how the hell did it go in reverse? And I'm looking at all my videos, and everything is public, nothing's private. I did delete some stuff, but everything should be good. But for some reason, it went in reverse. Yes, I did get to cut a cake. Gracie, my sister, um, she sent me some stuff, including these right here. I'll show you guys. I got these right here for my birthday. You know, woohoo! you know, the happy birthdays and stuff. So I got these. I got those and everything. And I got a rainbow cake. Can you believe that? I got a rainbow cake. I won't call it what I really want to call it, but it's definitely a rainbow cake with rainbow sprinkles on it. And I was like, oh my God, how good is this? And then I got some ice cream. It was mint chocolate. It was just called yeah, mint chocolate is with the it had like big like little nuggets like pellets of chocolate. Yeah. Oh yeah. I already know. It was fresh. It wasn't like a bad combination. So I went ahead and I had 3 helpings and then I fell asleep cuz I didn't want to stream on my birthday cuz I didn't want to hear no one talking shit to me on my birthday. Just didn't want to do it. But I did drop a video. I hope you guys liked it. It was a motivational video. It had nothing to do with any doom or gloom or nothing bad. It was just like just all motivation. That's what I like to do. So I added a little bit of music to it and then boom, that was my birthday treat to my people was to drop something inspirational for my birthday and shit. So I did that and I just been chilling, man. I just been chilling. I haven't done my hair though. Look at my hair, man. I got to do my hair. You know, my youngest daughter's birthday is tomorrow, so I got to go attend her birthday party across town. You know, so King Alfred says, "How can a loser bum motivate anybody? If I want to get motivated, I'll watch Trump or Elon." Oh, okay. Well, absolutely. You should think about changing your name to from King to something else because you're not coming off like a king, bro. Reluctant Gamer, where you been at, man? I ain't seen you in a long time. Reluctant Gamer is in the house, man. He stops in from time to time, people. He definitely stops in when he feels like it. But you're here today, so how you doing, sir? It is currently Tuesday, January. Yeah, right. You're gonna have to show me paperwork, Alfred, to believe that. I missed your streams. Yeah, you know what? Cause bro, I don't announce my streams. And you know why? I like to know who's gonna show up and what new people I'm gonna get. So that was a part of my marketing strategy is to deliberately not announce my streaming times. That was a deliberate move. And you know what I noticed? All my regulars, that's also how I know who who clicked the notification bell because you know when I do a stream, like for example, Chicken Lizard, his notification bell is fully activated because every time I do anything, he's front and center. So I'm thinking Chicken Lizard is gonna get the second shot out of all time, you know, because I know that he don't mess around. He really listens to everything I say. So does Gracie. So does Gracie. But Chicken Lizard, he be all over it. Like he lets me know when I go live and Gracie that you guys got that algorithm. I mean the notification bell with the what do you call those little lines next to the bell? The little chime lines where it looks like it's vibrating. No, not yet. Not yet. I'm still trying to decide because um see what I got to figure out is this. Why did Chicken Lizard drop his old channel and start a new one, but now he's getting all the success that he never got from his original channel? So it doesn't matter, but you know, I'm the kind of person that I'm gonna rock with what I started with, right? It's gonna have to be an extreme circumstance. Yeah, he does have his own channel, and he's been shouting me out on his channel too. It's a small channel still, but it's growing. And we talked about we talked about it because I don't think it would be inaccurate to say this, Chicken Lizard, to say that we spoke about it and you were deciding whether you wanted to quit or go into a different direction. Um, so I guess that he decided to go in a different direction, but still keep pushing. Yeah, they were at 635 at the end of last week. I don't know what happened. I didn't lost a few subscribers, which it happens every single time. You know, when I used to go live in the beginning, I remember one night I got 30 subscribers. It was weird. But now I'm starting to think that those subscribers were just fluff. And what I mean by fluff, they're just people that subscribe so later on they can stress you out. Like, for example, people subscribe, but they know they're not going to stay subscribed. They're just subscribed so they can like mess with your subscription count, right? So every time you move forward, let's say I get 10 new subscribers, two out of those 30 will unsubscribe to make me feel like I'm not making as much progress. You know, it's a mind trick, man, and they do it to every streamer, right? Not every streamer, but like they do it to every streamer like myself, where you're not very big. As a matter of fact, I'm not big at all. I don't even have 400 videos yet. And some streamers got, I don't know, like I've seen some not even a streamer, but just a content creator that's got like 4,000 videos, you know. So me, I barely have 400, so that should show you that not a big channel, you know. But then the weird part is I've seen streamers with almost a million subscribers and they only got 12 videos. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've been trying to decide what the culprit could be, but I know that anything that has to do with the entertainment industry, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Hollywood, anything to do with the entertainment industry, I don't care what you name, if it has to do with entertainment, you're always going to find the trolls. Period. And the trolls have a million different jobs, right? Some trolls' jobs are to come onto your page and just talk shit all day, the whole time you're streaming. Others' jobs may be to just bombard you with subscriptions so they can control the content. Every time you go live, they're gonna know right away. So you thinking, oh yeah, I got all these subscribers, but you don't even know they're your enemies. They're not real subscribers. I know. But you gotta understand something. You said it best though, Chicken Lizard. YouTube pushes the creators that they want to push. They have the ability down at YouTube to like for I'll give you an example. On Facebook, you can pay for your own boost. You can't pay for a boost on YouTube. But best believe there's a way to boost. Even though we don't have an option to boost our own channel, If because you got to think, if everybody was able to boost their channel, everybody would have millions of views. So YouTube doesn't give you the ability to boost your channel, but I guarantee you, down at the YouTube headquarters, they got a button that they could boost any creator. Because if the creator makes money, YouTube makes money. And if YouTube makes money, that's who they're going to push, right? YouTube is only going to push the people where the big money's at. Everyone else either has to work hard or their channel's going to blow up or their channel's going to dry up and blow away. That's why you see a lot of these content creators, they start out strong, they got really good content. As a matter of fact, they got some great content that seems like it could be viral content, but it just doesn't go anywhere. That's because YouTube they may be like, hey, you do have some great content. It's just that the platform you're using ain't pushing your content. Because like you said, Lizard, YouTube rather push a 10 million view brain rot video that's gonna make $200,000. So they can make $80,000 and then they can pay the YouTuber 120. And that's just some crazy numbers, but I'm just saying, like, that's how it goes. And you don't even have to like really be really smart to know that it's the same in Hollywood. If you got a really good movie but it's by a no-name actor versus a really shitty movie by a big name actor, they're going to probably push the shitty movie just because the actor is going to get the numbers regardless. The big name actor is going to get the numbers, and I can prove that by just bringing up Nicolas Cage. He's a big time actor, but he been in some shitty movies. But the only reason we even seen him was because money talks, exactly. And that's the same with anything, right? But like I said, the only reason that Facebook gives you the option to boost your own channel is because on Facebook, it's really a business platform. Facebook is a business platform. YouTube is an entertainment platform. So YouTube, the actual people that run YouTube can boost your channel, but you cannot boost it yourself because they're not going to let you get millions of views just by, let's say you wanted to push your content out to more people. Well, on Facebook, all you got to do is pay. You could pay $20 a day, right, for a week. That's $120, right? That's $140 for 7 days of pushing your content, right? But what they do is with that $20 a day, they push your content to 20,000 more people a day than if you didn't pay for the boost. If you follow what I'm saying, that's what you could do on Facebook because that's what I used to do. I would, and then even if you're selling something on Facebook Marketplace, you can use that too, right? If you have an item that you're trying to sell, you can pay to boost it. Hold on. Can I never mind. Um you can pay to boost it, right? Like the only thing, like I was saying, YouTube, you can't boost it. Only they can. Only YouTube will boost your videos. And if YouTube doesn't boost it, then it ain't getting boosted. Now, even if you have some of the best content ever created, it doesn't matter. Even if you have some of the best content ever created, if they see potential, like you can make some money, then all of a sudden you'll just see your videos start to do these crazy numbers, and you'll be like, dang, how is my video doing all these crazy numbers? Because you'll be able to make some money. But let's be real, YouTube makes millions of dollars, so they don't care about $10,000, $15,000. They don't care about that. That ain't no money to them. Hold on, I'm looking for my shoes. Where my shoes at, man? I know where they at. Hold on, people. I gotta put my shoes on. All right. Hey, I got a quick question, right? Does anybody like these kind of Nikes? I'd like them. I don't normally wear them, but I'm wearing them today because I can't find my Air Maxes, so I'm just gonna put on the Air Force Ones. Music fan, what is going down? What is going down? The dog wants to go outside. I said I need to live stream today. Oh, it's not snowing out there, but the sun is out, man. The sun is out. We're not gonna that damn sun is reflecting off the snow. Hurting my damn eyes, bro. What's up? I can't hear you, but got you playing in the background. I'm gonna make a new video real quick. Oh man. Hey, Chicken Lizard. Keep your eye out for some of these new videos that I'm gonna be making because I got a new method on how I'm making my videos, bro. I have a whole new, as I evolve, so does my content, man. So I got some new styles that I'm coming with that you guys already seen some of it. Gracie likes it. But that's what I'm doing. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Is I got a new style of content and it's gonna be getting dropped like on a serious level. So I hope you guys like what I'm coming with. You know, YouTube gave me this little creator tool. Only thing I need now is I need to find a good editing program. Go do a cold plunge, broski. Nah, I ain't doing no cold plunges, man. I probably, you know what though, Nathan? I probably could benefit from a cold plunge from my back issues, from probably not my stomach issues, but um, you gotta be a beast to go do a cold plunge. That ain't something anybody could just do. It's some people out there in such bad health that they go try to do a cold plunge and have a damn seizure or a stroke because their body couldn't take that type of instant temperature change. Me, I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out just how strong my body is when it comes to a cold plunge. But I'm gonna tell you, they be doing cold plunges in Michigan because I seen a lot of videos where these guys want to go do cold plunges. But I'm like, look, I'd rather just go take a cold shower. I don't even need to like jump in a thing of ice. Like it ain't even that serious, bro. And Kanye says LeBron or Obama. Man, man, I don't know about them choices, bro. I don't know about those choices. Valenciaga, really? Valenciaga. Okay. How you doing, Valenciaga? I ain't heard that one before. Me personally, I kind of like it. You can start your own brand, your own knockoff brand called Valenciaga. What's going on, Jay Biggs in the house? Man, see, these are all my real subscribing people, man. But like I said, out of the whole 630, I only see like 10 every time, right? So that just goes to show you that a lot of those subscribers, they're not real supporters. They're just people that just was scrolling and which means that I'm going to have to work on that subscriber count. Like I'm not going to have a solid base until I get to like 2000, right? 3,000 subscribers. That's when you start to really develop your solid base. You really, in my opinion, you can't base it off of 630 people because that number is real diluted, right? In other words, out of all those 630, there's probably only 20 people out of that whole number that's actually going to sit down and watch me when I go live, you know? And that's why I continue to lose a lot of subscribers, which I still don't understand why. I really want to find a streamer or a video that I could watch that will tell me if that's normal. Like, is it normal to just lose subscribers on a daily basis, whether you're making videos or not? Because I be losing them even when I'm making videos. It's just like they're just, I don't know. It just feels abnormal. It doesn't feel right. It feels like it's another way that, like the same way the trolls get on these lives. That's another little tactic that they use is to yeah, but Mr. Bloxy, I lose them all the time, bro. Like I swear I do. I lose them all the time. Like, let me see something. Okay. I see Mr. Bloxy, you got a cool 200. Yes, I'm okay. Thank you for the help the other day. You recommend me writing a letter and expressing my feelings. Oh, are you talking about to Charlie Kirk? Yeah, you're the one that wanted to write Charlie Kirk. Yeah, but my thing is this, Kanye. Why would a person like me, a little tiny, little, just really just like a vlogger almost, why would I end up with all these fake subscribers? Like, who would be interested in sending all these fake subscribers into my account and just what, like, unless they're stealing, unless they are going to be intent on stealing content. But that's exactly why I said to all my main regular subscribers, I don't know if they would or if they wouldn't. But if you were to see another channel with any of my content, I'm talking about if it's a short, a video, anything, notify me if you would, and report that channel. You know what I'm saying? Because that's that's what Marlon was doing at first. Is Marlon claims that he came across the channel that wasn't they wasn't reposting my content. Dude was just talking about me, basically being a hater. But the problem with that was me and my moderator went looking for this so-called person, and we couldn't find him. We couldn't find him anywhere. It just was like, this doesn't make sense because he said that, there was somebody that was, you know talking derogatory. And I don't know if he was trying to get a person fired up or what, but it's like the YouTube name that he gave us didn't lead nowhere. But hold on, I gotta ask Valenciaga a question. Valenciaga, did you end up doing what I had said? Where you wrote the letter, and you either there's three ways you could do it. You could burn it in fire, you could bury it, or you could put it in the water, and eventually the water would take care of it. If you do that, um, the old superstition goes as follows. That is the way that one of your passed on people will be able to read it, right? You got to do stuff like that. But I believe it to be true. I believe that that is absolutely a way where you can get a message to the other side, you know. As long, but it's let me tell you another thing too though, right? Intention is a big thing, right? You got to have the right intent, right? Cuz that's everything. So anything you do it with intention. If your intent was to make sure he got that letter, it's going to get to him. It will definitely get to him. As long as your intent was set on making sure that old Charlie got the message, and that's what you wanted. Hold on, you just wait right there. I'm gonna take the dog out real quick. Be quiet. Hold on, let me put my beanie on, bro. We talk about it's cold. You hear me, little dude? It's cold outside. All right, come on. All right. All right, we are outside too, but I'm gonna set the phone right here because I gotta watch this dog. Hopefully, my phone doesn't go flying. But I'm gonna talk right off camera. But yeah, man. As a matter of fact, let me do something. I have damn, I gotta go back in. Hold on. Hey, don't you dare start barking, dude. All right, I'm gonna plug this mic in so y'all can still hear me. So, can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. I'm doing everything I can though for my content. I don't want it to become a dying channel, but unfortunately, it's almost impossible for that not to happen because they do it to a lot of streamers, man. Whether you go live, drop videos, drop short videos, after a while, YouTube just gives up on it. It just won't push your shit at all, period. But let me know if you can hear me still. Yeah, I need to watch the dog. Oh, it's cold out here. Definitely cold. Here, Dennis. You ready to go back in? Go use the bathroom, bro. Go use the bathroom. You want to use the bathroom? Here, go back in. He said that. No, it's cold out here. I don't blame him. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna hang out for a minute longer. The dog says he can't take it. It's too cold. There is ice everywhere. Like for real. Now, handle this business. Chicken Lizard says people don't understand that he was a human just like them. They attacked him for attention and bullied him. It's so sad. He was so kind. Yeah, Charlie Kirk definitely he got done wrong on a level that we haven't seen in a long time. When things like that happen, you know without a doubt there's something wrong with our society, because that should have never happened, especially to a guy like Charlie Kirk. Even if people didn't like him, that wasn't no reason to assassinate him. But you know, he was speaking on issues in the black community, and there's people out there that don't want the condition to change. So when you start speaking on black people, all you got to do is look and see history. Almost every assassination out there, they were all people that spoke on black issues, all of them. So that's something to think about. From Abraham Lincoln all the way up to Charlie Kirk, Malcolm X, and everybody in between. They all had one thing in common. They spoke on black issues. And people can understand that, or they cannot understand that. But either way it goes, that was definitely something they had in common, man. I don't know much about Charlie Kirk, to be honest. I don't know much about the guy. I just know that what happened to him was absolutely terrible. And the fact that it happened on live television makes it even worse. That the world as a whole had to see that. Like the whole world had to watch that. That's crazy. And then it comes out that his wife was a part of the CIA. which I don't know how true that is, but I'm sure people saw that too. That it wasn't just, it was staged. Nah, that wasn't staged. It may have been staged, but not in that kind of way. Like, it may have been staged as far as him getting set up. Of course, it was staged, but that ain't even the thing. The thing was that he definitely got assassinated, without a doubt. So I don't know if that was the staged part, or if he just was a part of a bigger plot. But at any rate, like I said, he got taken out. You know what I'm saying? He got taken out, whether it was staged or not. He got taken out. He is no longer here with us. That is not even a question that we need to ask. Did Charlie Kirk stage his demise? No, he didn't. The people around him did. So, in other words, he is gone, no longer with us. But the reasons behind his assassination were staged. We don't even know the real reason because we don't know who he was connected to. But we know this: he, his wife. If you do the history on his wife, he didn't have an average wife. You know, and a lot of times, I hate to say it, but that's how they get these guys. That's how they get them. His It's funny how people on the internet try to find and make stories about him being really bad to black people when he literally wasn't like that at all. He had black friends. No, he's what you call a modern day activist, is what he was. Growing up in Chicago with black people and immigrants, even his best friend Candace Owens is black. He had no problem with her. He loves her. You know what? I just seen a video where they claim that Candace Owens was a boy. She's not even a natural female. I don't know if it's true. I didn't care. When I seen it, I'm just like, bro, that kind of stuff doesn't matter to me, man. But it could be true. I mean, our world that we live in is very, very strange. There's a lot of like weird stuff that goes on behind the scenes that the average people don't even think about. They're not aware of, and they're trying to live their lives and just be regular people, when in fact the world we live in is a very, very different place than we've been taught it was. This especially in America, bro, it's not the world we thought it was, and it'll never be, right? It's just an illusion. But you know there's two kinds of people. No, there's three kinds of people. There are the folks that know what it is. There are the folks that don't know what it is. And then there are the folks that are making it that way. So I would say to those people, hey, where do you fit in? Are you one of the people that know what it is? Are you one of the people that don't know what it is? Or are you one of the people making it this way? Right? Because I guarantee you this, they're never gonna arrest somebody for what happened to Charlie. There'll never be an arrest made. The same way with JFK, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Um, every now and then they'll have an arrest, but we won't, because like with Ronald Reagan, he wasn't fully assassinated, but they had an arrest, right? But still, to this day, nobody even knows for sure if that was the guy, right? So it's just like, I don't know. It's stupid, but you know, all we can do is live our normal lives and come to YouTube and talk about it, bro. That's all we could do, man. Like, let's talk about it. Let's see if we can crack the case. We probably won't be able to, but you never know. Just as long as you know that the world that you live in is not at all what you thought it was. And a lot of people are connected to the government. That's the weird part to me, is like the government is, and I keep saying this, like, to a lot of people, the government is not this big building down in Washington. The government is your neighbor. The government is the employees at the local grocery store, the gas station that you go fill your car up with gas at. Like, the government is everywhere. That's why they know so much about so many people, because it's everywhere. And when they want to get you, it's not that hard because they got people everywhere. I know, but they show it could have been AI. It was a picture of a little boy that looked exactly like Candace Owens, but it was a little boy. Like, there was no doubt it was a little boy, but it was just like, I seen the same thing with Barack Obama's wife. It was a picture of her childhood where it was a little boy that looked like her. But AI can do that, right? So nowadays, and here's another thing. That's I believe that's why AI is so popular now, is because you can take an image of a girl, run it through AI as a boy, and it will create an image of a boy that looks exactly like the female version. And then you can take that photo, you can go online with it and tell the whole world that this person is really just a boy. But what is the connection that all of it has? The fact that they're all black women, right? The gay agenda is real, and that's a fact. The gay agenda is so real. They want they want to turn everybody gay, but they really want to start with doing it through the black people, right? Because every black man and every black girl are attacked. Their sexuality is attacked. It just is. I don't know why. That's why when you talk about civil rights for black people, you also have to talk about gay rights. You have to. It's like they're one and the same. Ain't nobody over here celebrating. We're not celebrating. We think it's we think it's wrong. We think it's ridiculous that that kind of stuff has to happen. But you know, like I said, and I'll say it again, welcome to the world that you never knew was satanic. But I bet you know now that this world has more satanic people than it has godly people. There's people that follow under the satanic rule, but they don't know that they're following a satanic governing empire. So they think, oh well, I go to church, I'm a Christian. Yeah, but you adhere, you pledge allegiance to a satanic power structure. So how do you call yourself a Christian if you knowingly answer to a satanic power structure? That's impossible. But it is what it is. Like, who cares? You know? Because at the end of the day, hey, man, you can be what you want to be, right? In this world, you can be what you want to be. And long story short, Valenciaga, I'm certain that Charlie was able to read your letter, and it probably made him smile. He probably was like, "Man, a lot of people cared about me. I'm sure they're like still disgusted about the way that I exited life, but it happens to the best of them. It's something that will be happening until the end of time." And once again, hey, look at his wife. His wife was not normal. His wife worked for those people. She still works for those people. And do you know, after his demise, she made a whole lot of money. She made a lot of money. And not only did she make a lot of money, she absorbed a very lucrative business that he started. He built it and then they got him out the way and took it over. Right. So you got to be careful, man, when you out here building stuff, because you better know everybody around you. Right. You build something great, you build something successful, and then boom, one of your closest comrades, you didn't even know, whether it be your wife, your husband, your friend, your brother, your sister, they swoop in and assassinate you and take your life's work and take all the money that goes with it, and you just lay in the grave. You just lay in the grave, bro. So yeah, this is only opinion and entertainment purposes only. Ain't nothing's fact. But hey, bro, his wife is a very unique character, and the more you learn about her, that's where the rabbit hole starts. Is with his wife. I don't care what nobody says. You want to go down the Charlie Kirk rabbit hole? Start with his wife. Learn everything you can about her, and then you'll notice that the rabbit hole starts with his wife, not with him. Go back to before she was even married to him. Learn everything that you need to learn, and you'll realize that she is not a just a regular girl that fell in love with Charlie. Oh, you out of here? All right, Gracie, you have a great night. Catch back up. I ain't gonna be streaming for too much longer, anyways. I just wanted to tap in with my people. Nah, nah, they got a video floating around online of her at the FBI. I mean, the CIA. I guess that's where she's at. That's what they're saying. I don't know if it's true or not. Like me, I'm not even gonna sit up here and act like I do. It could be. I don't see why somebody would sit up here and say that she was if she in fact was not. That's some big shoes to fill, right? Somebody saying that you're secretly involved with the CIA, they're gonna have to definitely have evidence to prove that, because you can't just go around telling people, "Hey, this individual is the CIA," if they're not. Yeah, I seen that. They claim that was the universal. Uh, I'm gonna tell you what that was, chicken. All right, Gracie. Well, you have a great night, and I'll try to go live when you're awake. Maybe I'll go live again later tonight. You know, I'm up. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do a video on my birthday. That's all. But I had full intentions on popping back out today. So this is my debut. But what I was about to say. Um, Yeah, you gotta watch everybody, you know. But even after you watch everybody and you start to discover little discrepancies and anomalies, you kind of understand something like, wait a minute, why is it that every time we go down the rabbit hole, we find the same kind of shit every time? Why is that? Because we are not living in the world we thought we were living in. Everybody, everywhere is there on that demon time shit. What's going on, Pack Panther? But hey, Chicken Lizard, this is what I was going to tell you. So, that hand gesture that she did at the funeral is supposed to be a universal sign language symbol of I love you. But it's so close to the other one, you know, it's so close to that other one. The symbol of the devil with the horns. It's so similar that from what I gathered from that, from what I watched, because I did a little bit of research about that hand gesture, that the Satanists took that from sign language because it was so close to their own that they could use it with plausible deniability. In other words, they could throw up that one and it will be recognized by their friends as being the evil one, but then they could just spin around and say, no, that's the universal sign language symbol for I love you, which, like, if you got a half a brain, like, we know better. If you're using it and we know who you are, then we know why you're using that symbol, which is so close to the one that means bad shit, right? Because one thing about them type of people, they like to operate off of this program, like I said, called plausible deniability. They do a bunch of shit they can always deny. But in order, think about how would you have to move through life if your job was to do a bunch of stuff that you could deny and get away with? You wouldn't be able to move normal, right? You would have to learn sneaky ways of getting by. Just think about it. If you had to live your life in such a way to where you could get away with all kind of shit using plausible deniability, then you would have to be able to adapt to a certain way of doing things to where you could do something to somebody and just deny it. And then, like, when they looked at what you did, it would be like, yeah, well, they really didn't do nothing, but they kind of did, but they didn't. And a prime example is the universal sign language of I love you. Looks like the devil horns, but it also is, in fact, I love you in sign language, right? That's how you do sneaky shit without getting caught. You always got something you could put it off on. Oh, well, this was just I love you. This wasn't. Well, we know what it was because everybody said it as soon as she did it. Like, oh man, that was the devil horns. We know what that is. But then when you look at it closer and the way her hands were positioned, you would say, oh no, that means I love you in sign language. Bullshit. And you know why it's bullshit? Because when you look at who she is and who she be around, then you understand that that was just some more plausible deniability. So anybody who tries to blame her for throwing up the devil horns will be looked at as a schizophrenic and a weirdo and someone with mental problems with a bunch of conspiracy theories they want to speak on. When, right? Let me tell you something about the CIA. That's one of their most powerfulest weapons in the CIA is plausible deniability. Here's another way that you can use plausible deniability, right? You ever seen invisible paint? Like, let's just think about invisible paint, right? Very, very toxic, deadly, chemically concocted invisible paint, right? So you take this invisible paint, you go in someone's house and you paint it all over their walls, and they start getting sick, and nobody knows why, right? Nobody knows why is this person all of a sudden getting sick inside of their house, because the CIA painted your walls with invisible paint. And then everybody can just deny it. Well, we don't know why he's getting sick. We don't, and the only people that know are people that know about the invisible paint, but they're not going to say nothing, right? You call that plausible deniability. You went in this person's house and you painted this shit all over their house, and now they're getting sick, and I mean sick, like nobody knows why, but like if you keep saying that, hey, somebody came in my house, man, and they test the paint, test the walls, they're gonna think you crazy, right? They're gonna be like, nah, you crazy, bro, right? Well, that's how you move in such a way where you can just do a bunch of bullshit to people and then deny it. Here's another one. There was a time in the world where they were making bullets out of ground beef and different meat, right? So you can shoot somebody and a bullet will go in and it will do the same damage as a regular bullet, but they won't find no metal. There will be no evidence, right? But you definitely got hit, but by what? Imagine if you made a bullet out of human meat, right? You dry it with nitrogen or whatever, and it's strong enough to pierce skin, but when they go to dig the bullet out, they don't find anything. They just find meat. They test it and it doesn't even have like reliable DNA. It's weird shit, but it's true. um um Charlie Kirk never got shot by anybody. Charlie Kirk never got shot. He was wearing a explodable microphone like this one right here. It exploded, and so nobody's going to go down for it because nobody shot him. But the question is, where did he get the exploding microphone from, right? Who gave that to him? Nobody knows. But they claim they got a video of one of the people taking it off his neck after he was taken out. Somebody ran up to him, snatched his microphone that exploded, and when they got his body, they got everything but that exploding microphone. It wasn't on his person when they got to him. And that's because they had to cover it up real quick so they can deny. And then how easy would it be to just replace it with one that wasn't exploding, right? More plausible deniability. That's why, if you remember, right when the shit happened, everybody crowded Charlie Kirk. Everybody just crowded it. Man, people were claiming that they seen hand signals. People was communicating with each other. That was a crazy scene, right? That was some crazy shit, man. It really was. It was some crazy shit. But that's how it go, you know. You just you learn the world that you live in, and then nothing will surprise you, right? Like you won't be heartbroken over stuff because you'll realize that you don't control anything around you. You barely control your own life. I hate to say it, but Erica is a Karen. You say it. Chick, you say it. Who is Erica? Let me find Erica. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Erica was she wasn't a good wife for Charlie, but unfortunately his fate was sealed from the beginning. So, you know, he grew up around political leaders, and so did his wife. They both grew up around political leaders. So, you know, think about it. Charlie and his wife, they both grew up around political leaders, heavy hitters, big dogs, the elite. They weren't just two regular people. They shit, what you mean she knew? She probably facilitated it. She probably signed his name on the dotted line right after he passed. Their business made like $150 million. So now she's stupid rich. Yep, she's stupid rich now. She'll never have to worry about money. But I don't think a girl like her ever needed to in the first place because they had a plan on how she was going to be a multimillionaire anyway. It was never about Charlie, it was about his wife. But what do I know? I don't know nothing, bro. I know nothing. All I know is I need to get these subscribers, man, and even if I don't, at least get my watch hours in, but I take a leap forward and two leaps back. I don't know who that is. Andrew Covid. Let me screenshot that and I'll be able to look back and see who Andrew is because I want to know who these people are. Because you know what? I'd be really wanting to know what are other people thinking? Like, what are other people focusing on? So since that name came up, I'm gonna have to go check it out. Because me personally, I've never heard of Andrew Covid, but I will after tonight. I'm gonna know who that is soon. I wish I could tell you who it is, but I do not know. Well, everybody knows who JD Vance is. He's another one of those elitists. I don't like talking politics though because all them people are in the same club. It's like there's no use in speaking about politics because it's like our government is satanic. Every single one of those jokers, they're all satanic. And it is what it is. That's our government. That's our government and that's who they've always been. And we sit here and have acted since the beginning like somehow we got some good government. There's a reason why they don't mind going and taking property from people across the world because, bro, they don't care about other people. It's all satanic. They worship a totally different God. And they got the ability to go around the world and do the research and find out more information than us. I'll tell you that. All you got to do though, look in their eyes, man. A lot of those politicians, their eyes say it all. They got those evil eyes, bro. I keep telling people about the eyes, man. Eyes are the windows to the soul. If it ain't an empty look, it's just a hateful, intense look. But either way, there's a look there, right? See, my eyes, they look normal. There's like there ain't a whole bunch. There ain't a whole bunch to my eyes, right? But like, and then let's not even mention how they say the reptilians run the government. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not gonna get into the whole reptilian thing. Not me, but satanic for sure. Reptilian, I don't know. Hey, I'll be right back. I am back showing love with hearts. Oh, I appreciate that, Valenciaga. That also that also spams the algorithm. I don't know if it works though. I think the only way that works is if hundreds and hundreds of people are doing it. But either way it goes, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that. I wish I could spam my own algorithm. That'll be nice. Hey, but listen, I'm gonna be back on later tonight. I don't want to say a time because if I'm not on by that time, I don't want anybody to feel like I BS'd or no, my J Biggs, my internet didn't freeze. We actually have some of the best internet that you can get a hold of for common people. It's pretty reliable. One thing I could say is this internet's never froze on me before, so you know. Hey, but you know what? I made it to 44 years old as of yesterday, so man, I'm happy, right? I made it to my 44th birthday and I'm feeling like I'll see 45. That's very important to someone like me. Being 45 and being in good health is becoming rare, bro. That's becoming extremely rare. Yeah, for a guy to be in his mid 40s and still be, fairly healthy. My stomach issues are even getting better. So, um wow, I'm happy about that. The less I eat, the better my stomach improves. And I already talked to somebody anyways that was like on some holistic healing type of stuff. And that person told me, hey man, if you want your gut issues to go away, stop eating so much. Start fasting and eat like not just any fruits and vegetables, but like the ones that don't spike your blood sugar, the ones that, aren't at acidic, because a lot of salad, see people eat a lot of salad, which there's nothing wrong with acidic food, right? Because you want your gut acid, the juices in your stomach that break down food, like you want it to be acidic. That way you could break down your food as fast as possible. But for some reason, society is teaching us to alkaline. But if you were to be a completely alkaline being, you wouldn't even be able to break down food. Like if you think about like human beings nowadays have a gluten deficiency. Like our bodies have a hard time breaking down stuff like corn and gluten and different ingredients that we find in our food. But if you rewind back to 1,000 years ago, maybe even longer, 1,500 to 2,000 years ago, human beings could eat anything. I don't care what it was. You could eat tree bark. You could eat a damn rock, and your stomach acid was so powerful and potent, it would dissolve a rock. Right? They say that your stomach acid is so strong it can develop. I mean, it could dissolve metal. But nowadays, with all the different supplements that you could take to alkaline your stomach acid to fight against acid reflux and GERD and all of that, it turned into people with weak ass stomachs. Yeah, yeah, your stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve metal, right? Well, it used to be. There's, but like I said, gluten and corn used to be able to dissolve that shit, right? But now we're a society full of people with weak ass stomachs. Like our stomach acid is not where it used to be, and it'll never get back to that neither. I mean, as long as we live in a modern society, people will continue to market the idea that alkalining yourself is better than being acidic, when in fact we are acidic people. Like, you have to be acidic in order to break down the food that you eat, especially now that we cook with all these ingredients, and um, we buy food with all these ingredients, and the rise of all these processed foods. If you ever listen, if you ever read the warning on what exactly a bioengineered product is, then you would see that it says that at any given time, a bioengineered product could cause DNA damage to somebody. That could literally change your it could cause a rare flash disease out of nowhere, simply by eating a bioengineered product, right? That's why they put the warning on the food to begin with, because there are people that would eat a bioengineered ingredient and it would wreak havoc in their system, maybe due to a rare mutation or a rare defect or anything in their enzymes and their cells that, you know, can't take that particular bioengineered, ingredient. So it would be worth it to say this: every brand and every type of food we eat that has a bioengineered ingredient, it would be worth knowing what the bioengineered ingredient is. But I will assure you this: the companies make it challenging to find out exactly what the bioengineered ingredient is. They don't put it on the package. They just put that there's a bioengineered ingredient in the the item, the consumable item, whatever it may be, right? And if like, you would have to know your own bloodline though too, to know if you would be able to just consume all this bioengineered stuff, right? But there's a warning on the packaging for a reason, and it's the same kind of warning that is, in conjunction to the same reason that there's a warning on a pack of cigarettes, there's a warning on alcohol, there's a warning on any item that could harm you, right? There is a warning. And all those warnings don't tell you what exactly it is that could harm you. They just let you know that there's something in this stuff that can harm you. But it's up to you to research and find out what that ingredient is. You know, but you could find it because they have to provide it, right? Like, you could go on their website, you could go, but who wants to do all that just to eat regular? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to go through all that shit? Wait, the worst thing I ever eat is sister. I don't even know what that is, Valenciaga. I've never heard of that. That has got to be some food from your home country. Can you tell me what surstroming is? Surstroming. Yeah, does anybody know what surstroming is? Oh, it's a fish. Okay. Yeah, but a fish isn't bioengineered unless it's packaged up like fish sticks and stuff like that. Those are processed. Well, not all fish are mid chicken, because I'm gonna tell you right now, catfish And Pacific whiting, if you prepare them right, see the thing for me is I just need to have a taste for fish. It's rotten fish in a can. Ooh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't know about rotten fish in a can. I'm gonna have to pass on that. Beer battered cod. Yeah, cod is pretty good, but it depends on if you're getting it mass produced because I bet you if you look on the label, it'll say this food item contains a bioengineered product or ingredient. It has to be opened in a bucket of water to not ruin your entire house with the stink. Like, yeah. So who in the hell would want to eat that just to have to go? I seen that stuff is like popular over in Russia and places like that where they eat like cured meat, but it stinks to the point where they got to keep it outside. Well, fermented fish is rotten fish. They just like to call it fermented because it sounds better. But if you ever seen a fermented human being, a fermented human being is a rotten human being, man. Um, Me personally, I wouldn't want to eat nothing fermented. The best that you'll ever catch me eating some shit that's fermented is like a pickle or some pickled carrots or some shit like that, right? That's about as far fermented as I'm willing to go. Some fermented jalapenos, but we ain't like I like they got fermented eggs you can go buy. We're gonna pass on those. Fermented fish, just my luck. I'll get sick as a dog. So we're gonna have to pass on that. I don't think you should ever try it again, neither, Valencia. Especially if uh, Mina's just said that the only way to open it is you you got to put it in a bucket of water. You got to open it underwater, outside, far away from the house. Because if you don't, you're going to blow the whole area up. You're going to have the police at your house thinking there's a dead body. There ain't no way. That's like how people in America, like a lot of black folks, like chitlins still. But the thing about chitlins is when you're cleaning them and when you cook them, your house starts to smell like shit, like a real toilet. And it's like, although they're probably good, I don't know. I've never ate chitlins to my knowledge voluntarily. I ain't never ate chitlins, right? But like I've been at my friend's house when his mom was making them and preparing them, and it's like we go outside while they're being prepared because the whole house starts to smell like pig shit, like strong though. Like it's so strong it feels like someone just set a turd on your mustache and just smeared it on your face. And now you're just sitting there with this smell of cooked cucumbers. I haven't heard of those before. Well, just think, hey man, if you've ever ate cheese, or let me say it in a politically correct way, if you've ever eaten cheese, then you have eaten fermented food because like good cheese, the better the cheese, the better they ferment it, like it's fermented. Bro, I've seen over in Italy and places like that, like bro, in France, they got some cheese that's filled with parasites and worms and shit. And like for them, that shit is good. And I'm like, how is that good? I'd rather go to China where they eat raw fish that are still alive before I eat some shit like that. Like I'll eat a live fish or a squid, but I ain't going to eat no damn cheese with parasites in it and worms. Like it's not that serious. Eating, but you know what? You got to understand too, though, that when you leave out of America, food is just simply not that abundant everywhere you go. Like it just ain't. I don't care what anyone says. Like there are places in the world where you can go and you just ain't gonna have food at your fingertips the way that they have it here because in America it's impossible to starve because like let's be real, if you're just extremely hungry, you can just go into a gas station, grab a handful of shit and run out. And then boom, you might go to jail for it, but you'll still have access to eat something. It's just the rule is you got to pay for everything. You can do the same at a restaurant. You can sit down at a restaurant, you can eat before you have to pay, and then you could just get up and leave. And if you get away with it, that's your business. But the point is, it's not like that around the world, man. Around the world, sometimes it's you're only going to eat what you catch. But what I don't get is France isn't a place like that. France is like modernized to whatever capacity, but why the hell would they have cheese with worms in it and people actually eat that shit? And if you put it under a microscope, it just looks disgusting. Like it's like, bro, who and why would anybody eat this? But they do. In Sweden, it is strictly forbidden to open surströmming in the subway or any public place. But I don't get why people would want to go buy that though, Balenciaga. Like, I don't. I guess you get a taste. I mean, some people have a taste for stuff like that. I guess it's just when you grew up and your grandparents and their grandparents had to go really like they like really had to like go hunt for the food, and then they had to store it. Balenciaga says the Selena Gomez Oreo is terrible. I didn't even know Selena Gomez had a damn Oreo. Once I ate a canned roach. Oh my goodness. Chicken lizard, that's gotta be some Canadian shit, man. Cause we don't have any, as far as I am aware of, I've never seen canned roaches at the grocery store here in America, man. I've never and I hope I've seen roach milk where they take a bunch of roaches and they milk them, and then you can go buy roach milk, and that's supposed to be what we're going to be eating in the future. I don't want that to be our future, but like there's some very powerful individuals that are studying, you know, how to extract milk out of a roach. So like I can see it being on the shelves soon. Just like I also believe there's going to come a point in the future where you're going to be able to go to the grocery store to the butcher section where the meat's at, and you're going to be able to buy yourself a human extremity, whether it be a foot, a leg, an arm, a hand, an elbow, a shoulder, whatever you want. You'll be able to buy human too. So be looking for that in the future. It's only a matter of time before they start selling human beings at the grocery store. They already want to. They just know that everybody's not going to accept it right now. So they ain't going to do it yet. But they're trying to figure out, creative ways to market ourselves back to each other. Like they've already tested to see if we would like the meat. And that's why they want to do it because they're like, we already tested the meat and they liked it. Now we just got to figure out a way to sell it to where we don't have to sneak it in their food. We can just sell the meat and they'll buy it. Because I'm gonna tell you, if I went to the grocery store and you know what? That's the dynamic of this channel. Valenciaga is that's how we get out. It evolves into whatever, man. It evolves like I think it was time to get off Charlie Kirk, anyways. I think it was time to let them rest anyway. And somebody made a mention. I can go back to see exactly where, but we we kind of just float from topic to topic, but it's all good stuff though. Like it started out with bioengineering, right? That's what it started out with, and then it kind of just ended up to what's that word that you said? It was called let me go back. Surstrumming or some shit like that. Yeah, surstrumming. Yeah, surstrumming, something like that. But either way, it went like that. So, anyways, that's how it that's how it goes, man. Oh, I just noticed I just noticed this person has a lot to say. The trash just took itself out. So unfortunate. I put his last words. Well, it all got deleted. I try to put his last words. Hey, what it do, Drew? We are in here chilling. Now don't worry about it. Uh, Jay Biggs took care of the guy. Um, I was amused by him, to be honest. They just pop up randomly when I'm having a good conversation. I noticed that about these guys is they like to pop up when they feel that you are excited and happy and talking about something that you really like. That's when they just pop up with the hate, whether it's talking about homosexuality or being a broke bum or something like that. It's an extreme like curveball that came out of left field, and there's no explanation to the reason why they do it. But I have a feeling that there is definitely someone behind the scenes that pulls the strings for these guys to come into people's lives. And there's already a target on most men's backs. And so when you're a person of color, the target becomes even bigger, and they want to stop you by any means necessary. And so they send these trolls, and if you talk back to them, then they report your channel, and you can only get so many reports before you get a strike. So the main thing for me is to not acknowledge them. But me personally, I let most of them stay and stick around, but I won't respond to them because if you respond, it's a trap. If you respond to them, you get your channel reported, and then YouTube reaches out to you and says, "Hey, we're giving you a strike because such and such didn't like what you had to say." And it's like the unlevel playing field is the fact that the trolls can say whatever they want, but the creator cannot. The creator has to keep a level of responsibility through the entire time that they stream. And if the creator doesn't do that, then the creator can lose their channel. And the best thing you could do is report the troll. But that's why there's so many of them. And the more your channel gets bigger, the more trolls will be in there. And that's their main goal is they don't want to engage with you. What they want you to do is engage with them so they can report your channel. And after so many reports, YouTube will take your channel for a week, for a month, or permanently. It's up to what you said. It ain't about what they said, because I also heard that when these live videos end, there's no way to go back and look at these chats in people's live feeds. There's no these live feeds disappear when the chat gets completed. I even heard that YouTube can't go back and look at these. I didn't need anybody to tell me that, music fan. I'm just simply saying that I already knew that. Yeah, yeah. If you use StreamYard, it's recorded. But if you use regular YouTube, they can screenshot and report you. But if you didn't screenshot what they said, then there's no way to. And then that, like, YouTube doesn't want to hear what the comment section said, anyways. Yeah, right. I say unalive too, but I've slipped up a lot in a lot of my videos, so I probably won't be able to monetize a lot of my stuff in the future. But the best thing I could do is to be more conscious of what I say, how I explain stuff, and stay within the guidelines of becoming monetized. So when that time comes, a lot of my content can get approved, and that'll work for me. Um, Music fan, I am sure. Well, no, I'm not talking about you, Drew. Not at all, man. But there are people that you'll see them in the chat. They come in, they talk shit, they try to trigger you, they try to get you to talk shit, and you want to talk shit because they're saying some real hateful, hurtful stuff, right? And some of them, believe it or not, they know personal attributes about you, and you're like, how, like, you know, whether you spoke it on a live or they're just, you know, a part of the, secret squirrel society that got facts about all kinds of different people, and they come into the video and they'll say something, and you'll read what's said and you'll say to yourself, how does this person know that, or what made him say that particular thing, right? So it's just like they that's, how you trigger somebody the most. What is the highest level of triggered you could get is if somebody says something that's personal. If somebody that you don't know says something that's personal, and you're wondering to yourself, how did this stranger know some of my personal business, right? That would trigger you at the highest level. And so that's what they try to do. It's not for no reason that these people keep calling me a broke bum, right? Now, I did get on alive and say that I had lost my job. I gave a whole description and a whole video dedicated to, it was due to harassment. It doesn't even matter. I don't need to say why I got fired, but I've stated it many times. And now that's what they use to try to trigger a person. And it's because a lot of these cats, they know intimate details of a lot of people's business. You know, let me ask you guys this. Have any of you guys ever heard of a guy named Nardwar, right? Nardwar. I'm gonna have to pick the phone up because I see you're literally focused on the ceiling, which that's understood. I get it. Maybe your ears work less than your eyeballs. Okay, so Nardwar is a guy that's in the music business, right? He deals with a lot of rappers, right? Nobody really knows this guy, Nardwar. Nobody knows him like that. But this is what Nardwar will do. He'll visit rappers or different singers at just random times when they're out and about, and he'll ask them a question about some shit, right? But that question will be based on a true event that took place in this person's life at whatever point before they was famous, why they were famous, but it'll always be something that the person considers private and personal and intimate that this particular guy should not know. But in fact, he will know, right? And he be throwing a lot of guys off with the things that he says to them because he's just a random guy, but he does not have random information. This random guy actually has very detailed information on a lot of these individuals, right? And so it triggers some people because they're like, how did you know that? Who you been talking to? Only person that would have known that is my little brother or my grandma, and they're gone and da da da. So that's a prime example of how Nardwar is kind of similar to these trolls, because you don't know who these trolls are, but it's very clear by some of the shit they say that they know you. And this is only to the content creators that even do live videos and stuff like that. You know, we want to believe that we're all random, but we're not. There's always somebody somewhere watching, listening. There's people that will take this live video. I don't care if I run this live video for 3 hours. They'll sit back in their office, put some earphones on, and they'll run this video back 3 or 4 times in a row with 4 or 5 different people and say, I want you to break this video down. I want for you to dissect every word that this guy said. Everything. Just break it all down. And like there's people who do shit like that, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't know nothing about nobody, right? They wouldn't know anything, right? But Nardwar is a prime example of how when you become a celebrity, there are people that dig farther into your life than you would have ever imagined. Not saying I'm a celebrity, but just any time you put yourself out in a public space, there are people, there are agencies, there are businesses, and their sole purpose is to dig and dig and dig and dig into your life. And you will know that's what they're doing because they send people towards you to say little shit to you that only you know what's being said. You're like, wait a minute, this fool just said this. Now the viewers ain't gonna know, they're just gonna hear trash talk. But me, I hear something totally different based on what's being said. I'm like, okay, so this person's not just a random troll. This person has intelligence about who I am. And I can tell because they're saying it to me. All right, Chicken Lizard is out of here for the day. I will holler at you later, Chicken Lizard. Peace out. I expect to see you back here at the next live, though, sir. I got a poster on my wall with your face in it. I can dig that, Drew. You know what? I am not mad at that at all. If somebody was able to take a screenshot of me like this and I give them a good photo, I give them a good poster screenshot, and a person wants to go get it made, and that's what they do. I was a celebrity long before YouTube. That's the thing about me. YouTube is not what made me a celebrity. Moving through the secret societies of America and around the world, I've already been a celebrity. That was the whole reason I made the channel. And I didn't mind putting my face up on the big screen because I was already moving with awareness that lots and lots of people know me and I do not know them. I knew that already. That's why the decision to make this content was easy for me because I already knew who I was long before I accepted it. I didn't create the channel till I just accepted who I was as, you know, I'm Mr. Truman. That's who I am. When I walk outside, I have to tell the neighbors, good morning, good evening, and good night. And if I don't see you tomorrow, sir, good morning again. You know, I have to move in accordance to knowing that, I am not a regular individual that I always thought I was. I'm not regular, man. Yeah, Mr. Truman definitely was a good movie. The Truman Show, it gave us the information that we needed, which was that life is a movie. You're always on stage, and some people are targeted. They will put up a whole cast and a whole society surrounding one person, right? I'm sure when he came to his realization, he was a little bit embarrassed because, like, he kind of understood that some of his most intimate moments involved this cast of people that he didn't know was there previously. So when he came to know it, it kind of pissed him off. It triggered him. He was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that when I'm taking a shower or I'm sitting on the toilet doing my business, these people are watching? And the answer is yes. They're always watching you, sir. So, with that being said, right, it wasn't that hard for me to put myself in a public space because I knew without a doubt that I was already there in the public space. It was just unofficial. It wasn't an official thing, but like if you know the world you live in, then you'll be able to broaden your horizons because you'll be able to understand everything around you even that much more better. Now, that's not to say that people around you ain't going to gaslight you and deny it, but let me tell you something. There's power in deniability. When people are denying shit, they're basically trying to reverse the truth, right? That's what denying is just basically admitting to the truth in a reverse kind of way. So if you ever find yourself around someone that you know something to be true and they're sitting up here denying it and calling you crazy and all this shit, that's just to let you know that in fact your truth is the real truth. And that's why this person's trying so hard to deny it because that's what we do here in America. We like to be in reverse. Everything's in reverse, right? Most things are in reverse, not everything. Like think about the television. You watch the television. Now put that same idea in reverse and it becomes the television watches you. The only thing is no one would believe, "Oh my god, the TV is what?" Yes, the TV is watching you. All you got to do is put it in reverse. Think about the idea of watching TV. Once you think about that, now put it in reverse. The TV watches me. You see where I'm going? That's what Truman came to realize. He was in the world, but he put it in reverse and realized that the world revolved around him. He didn't revolve around the world revolved around him. And when he started to notice it, people started to give him indications that he was right. Like when the bus driver was told that he couldn't leave town, and the bus driver had no choice but to slam on the brakes. And what did he tell Truman? Hey, sorry, man. Sorry. That was Truman's first indication that okay, this is a stage and I'm living my life for someone else's entertainment because this bus driver just randomly apologized to me because the bus driver already knew what it was and the bus driver was like, "Hey man, you ain't leaving. You ain't leaving this town. Nobody's leaving this town. But I'm sorry that this is how you have to come to realize that the focus has always been on you, right?" So I just was like, "All right, well, you know, um, my whole thing is going to be if I've always been this celebrity, whether I'm infamous or famous, I'm going to I'm gonna put myself voluntarily in the public space and we're gonna make it official. We're not gonna play with the game. I'm not gonna walk around this city anymore acting like I'm anonymous when everybody already knows me. I'm just gonna give them a reason to acknowledge me now. Hey, if you see me on YouTube, I'm like too short, man. Throw up the peace sign and say, "Hey, pimp daddy." We not gonna sit here and act like I wasn't a celebrity long before YouTube. Well, I told you, Chicken Little, they would love to report me, but you can only report a man with sufficient evidence, right? If you don't have evidence, you can't report nothing. Um, so I don't acknowledge a lot of things that I hear because I know it's just it's a trigger game. It's can we get this guy going? Can we get this guy going? Because they've already taken everything else from me. Now they don't want me to have a YouTube channel. If you knew the amount of stuff that's been taken from me throughout my life, then you would laugh about these people trying to take my YouTube channel. Like, they don't want me to have anything. Like, nothing at all. In any way. Not money, not happiness, not love, not a job, not a YouTube channel. They don't even want me to be smart. They want me to be stupid so they can keep sending in manipulators into my life to basically control me the way that they control everybody, right? But I kind of I kind of recognized that I was a celebrity long before YouTube. And so I'm gonna always expect for people to deny that and say, "I don't know you. I've never heard of you in my life. I don't know. You're crazy. You're a schizo. You're a this. You're a that. You're a blase splee." And I just tell those people, "Hey, listen, it's fine, man. I made my own thought about this anyway. So you can sit here and hit me with the plausible not deniability all you want. I understand the game now. You're not talking to a rookie anymore. So save it for one of the new people that haven't fully awakened yet, and they'll probably second guess themselves. But me over here, I don't second guess myself anymore about anything. I'm dead set. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm dealing with devils, people of the secret society, you know, and you wouldn't be secret if you was on the up and up, right? Let's be real. If you was on the up and up, if you was on the straight and narrow, you would be a secret. You wouldn't live a double life. You wouldn't be a part of the secret circuit if, in fact, you was on the up and up. And if everybody was meant to be a part of it, then I would have been on the other end of this Truman Show. But in fact, I was on the Truman Show. I was on the Truman side, which means I didn't know about the secret squirrel society until recently. And isn't that what the movie depicts? All these people are all part of the same cast, and he's the only individual that didn't know. His wife was in on it, his friends, every single person he spoke to, they were all part of it. Everybody. There wasn't one single person that he came in contact with that wasn't aware of this secret play. And then even furthermore, why him? Why was he the star of the show? What made him the celebrity? He had no idea. He just knew he was different than the people around him, right? But then he started wondering, well, how did all these other people end up in this show about me, right? How did they? And it's like that movie. It describes life. It describes what the fuck we've been asking all this time. Like, bro, you was a celebrity long before you realized it. So YouTube should be a breeze for you. But here's the thing, now that you know it, they're really going to downplay it. They're really going to deny it. Cuz you were never supposed to know these kind of things in the first fucking place. So now that you know, you're going to get all these trolls calling you crazy and saying that you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about and you're just a schizophrenic and you're the one with the mental problem. But I would say that the people with the mental problem are the people that secretly watch individuals, whether they're part of greater a greater circle or not. To do anything in secret that has to do with another person says within itself that that's some type of mental condition, even if it comes from the very top. You are agreeing to take on the same mental condition as your power structure, right? So, like, I've been a celebrity long before YouTube, and I'm gonna keep being that celebrity, right? And I don't care what these squirrels have to say, how many times they want to call people crazy and schizo and all of this. Because in my mind, you help uphold a mental condition over the entire population, bro, by being a secret in people's lives, by being a watchful eye over people that don't even know they're being watched. And then you ask, well, why are these people being watched? I would say, I don't know. You're going to have to get to the truth on your own because the people watching you ain't going to tell you why. Maybe you scored high in the gifted child program when you was in elementary school or something. Who knows? But either way it goes, bros, you was a celebrity long before you ever knew it. And a lot of people are infamous, right? They're just infamous. Because one thing about these secret squirrels that they always try to convey is that they are good people. They don't do anything bad. The only thing they do is watch. Just always got a watchful eye on Mr. Truman. You ever notice that in the movie? They always had that watchful eye. If he comes walking through public, people side glance him, acting like they don't see him, but they are laser focused in on this guy. To the point where one day someone they claimed passed away ended up popping up in his life, and he damn near exposed the whole program. So he had to like they had to do some shit right in front of his face, but then like he started to understand that there's something weird going on. And so I liked the movie because by the end of it, the whole thing was cracked open, and he got to disappear, and he got to exit through the back of the stage, and everybody was kind of sad because you know they start to show you how people all over the world was tuned in on different televisions, whether like it was a group of people at a bar or some people at the theater or a family in their living room. It was all these people. They were all like if you remember the movie like I do, that they was all disappointed because it was like, damn, the show is over. This guy was never supposed to know. Man, he was our favorite character to tune into, and now the show is over. But they thought for sure they were going to kill him. Remember that in the boat on his way to discovering the truth? They did everything in their power to unalive Mr. Truman. They did everything to unalive him. And he didn't unalive, he stayed alive to the very end. And that's what ultimately the people were sad about because they were used to the character being unalive before he discovered the truth about his little suppressed world that he lived in, right? He They made all these attempts on him and nothing worked, right? And so the show was just over. Hey man, something to think about though. Definitely